Hello, this is the recap for Monday, October 12th, 2020. So today in our Digital Academy class, we worked on in our morning meeting how to say hello in Italian. Ciao, welcome for coming to this video. We also took our week 5 spelling test on Zoom, and the students then take a picture of that and send that to me through email. They took their Unit 5 vocabulary test, and then we were reading chapters 1 through 2 of Esperanza Rising. I've taken the digital book and I've cut it into chapters. So all they have to do is click on the actual link and it'll take them to just chapters 1 and 2. Chapter 1 is just one slide. The title of it is 1924, kind of sets the time period as well as the setting of the story. And then the Las Uvas is the first chapter, or the second chapter that they're going to read, which is 6 years later. And that's a total of 7 slides that they have to read. They had time in class to read these 7 pages to make sure that they had totally read chapters 1 through 2. The next activity that I asked them to work on then was a comprehension check. This is a quick little classwork assessment where it's just answering 4 questions about the story. In fact, one question is about a simile in chapter 1 and then about the significance of the title in chapter 1. Then the question about foreshadowing in chapter 2, and then again the significance of the title in question 2. Students responded to this, and then those who didn't, I sent an email this afternoon reminding them that they did not finish this work because we're going to talk about it when we meet tomorrow during ELA. So that was the work that we did during our ELA time. Another thing that we did during that ELA time is during our writing time, we started talking about our second informative essay. So our first informative essay was about someone who we admire. Big problems where there was a disconnect. Either half of the class understood that this is an informative essay and that I am writing to explain why I admire somebody, or a big chunk of the class thought this is the time to write a short biography about somebody that I look up to. There is a difference in the two forms of writing. We are not writing a biography. We are writing about why, explaining to somebody why you admire that person. So giving reasoning behind it. So some students are going to get a low grade for their first essay because they did not follow directions. In this second essay where they're writing, it is more in line to the way that FSA is going to be giving the Florida writing test, which is that there are passages. So they're writing about women's role during the American Revolution, women in the American Revolution. They have a Source 1 article called The Battlefield and Beyond, written by Sarah Wiggins, which today I modeled how to take notes using Snap and Read. So using Snap and Read, there is a feature which I'm going to show you very quickly. You must be signed into your gm.sbac.edu account. I'm signed in and I'm synced. The reason why it's important to be synced is because the county has given you some bookmarks and some applications for you to use that you can't access unless you're synced to the actual computer and signed in. So what I have here is there's a crosshair for Snap and Read. I can turn it on and I can turn it off. I'm going to turn mine on and I'm going to show my outlines. I've already started working on an outline for women in the American Revolution. This is my note-taking area where I just wanted to show the students how I could pull information from what I read, and it saves it for me. So I read through about how specifically there were certain women who disguised themselves as men and fought as soldiers, and I put the example of Deborah Sampson, how she cut her hair and couldn't grow a beard, how it mentioned camp followers, women that cooked, did laundry, and also helped learn to make bullets and repair cannons. I talked about Mary Hayes, who watched her husband on the battlefield so often that when he injured himself, she was able then to use his cannon and fire it multiple times, even though it ripped through her skirt. That Molly Pitcher was a name for women who were delivered water to help for drinking and for cooling and cleaning cannons. And then also they talked a whole lot about how nurses were really important, that the nurses took care of the sick and the wounded, as well as those who had been captured as prisoners of war, and that nurses were very important because many soldiers were dying of infection and disease. And then there's a quick story that talks about Andrew Jackson's mother actually served as a nurse in a prison camp, and her son, Andrew Jackson, eventually was released, who then later went on to become our 7th president. So all I did was model for them how to read the first source and how to take notes. Their job was then to read the second source about Spies and Messengers by Joseph Gladstone and to take notes, and to read the third and final source called The Home Front by Stephanie J. Tanner and again take notes. Now, the prompt that they're going to be writing about this week is they're going to be informative essay about the different ways that women were involved in the American Revolution. And we're going to go through the process just as it says. Today, we read the passages. Tomorrow, we'll plan our response. By Wednesday, we'll be writing our response. And by Thursday, we'll be revising and editing our response. We want to make sure that we have an introduction. We want to have a conclusion, but we also want to have information from the passage as well. And I'll be modeling how you're going to quote from the text to include it as details in your writing. So this is what we worked on during our ELA time, was making sure that they read through all 3 sources and took notes. Now, some students want to fight me. I don't really need to take notes. That's not true. During FSA, you have 2 hours to look at these documents and to write an essay. It's improbable, and you're not doing yourself any good service by not taking notes. You might just need to underline sentences or write in the margins. That's not easy digitally, so that's why I'm taking notes either on Google Docs or using Snap and Read's outline. But you have to interact with the text. You can't just read it and then start making an essay. You have to figure out what quotes and what information. Like I explained to them, just based on the notes that I took, I can already see that I'm going to have a body paragraph about how women were in disguise fighting, but I'm also going to have a body paragraph talking about the importance of nurses during that time. So I'm kind of already organizing my thoughts and ideas by going through the notes section of what I'm doing for my essay. So that's what we worked on during our ELA time and then during our writing time. There was lunchtime on your own and homeroom recess on your own. And then we came back for a Native American activity for social studies. During the social studies time, everybody made a copy of the master copy, which is the same thing that you would be doing. Let me go ahead and shut off my Snap and Read. It is the same thing that you would do if we were in the classroom. I would have one master copy that I would take to the copy machine, and I would make 24 copies for the class. Since we're doing this digitally, the students are just going to go through the process of making a copy. When I make a copy, which I've shown multiple times, you're going to start at File, you're going to go to where it says Make a Copy, and you're going to make a copy of the entire presentation. You are then going to take away the words copy of, master copy of, and you're going to write your student name. So the student name goes in the front, and then we hit OK, and now it makes a copy that you can write in. You then write into it, which we did together. We read these 2 sources together. We talked about the answers together. It was only their job then to fill in the blanks and then share the document with me. This is no different than if we were in class and we went over a worksheet together. We did it in class together, and then I asked you to turn it in as a classwork assignment. Same idea. I'm looking not for accuracy in your sentences, but completion, that we went over the differing treatment of natives. In our first source, it talked about how the British really pushed away the Native Americans. They just wanted them out of the way, where the French wanted them closer to them so that they could have them as allies. Our second one that we read about told a little bit more about the Quakers, who were then the colonists at that time, about how they specifically wanted their people to not go onto any land that was not purchased from the Indians. If we were to go onto stolen land, or if we were to go onto land that was not purchased from the Native Americans, that they would be pushed out of the Quaker community, or that the Quakers felt they were being unchristian-like because that's not what you should be doing. They wanted to keep their relations with the Native Americans peaceful, and they wanted to avoid war at all costs. It's important that we understand the relations between the Native Americans in North America during this time. So we've gone over this activity for that reason. So once we were done with that Google Slides activity that counts as a classwork grade, we then had math at our regular time. My 5th grade math class did a review going over everything with addition and subtraction with decimals, and then they took their Chapter 3 test on Canvas. They have no homework this evening because they were working on a test. My 6th grade group is now focusing on adding and subtracting decimals, and we did an activity together where we practiced adding and subtracting decimals with a Jeopardy game. They do have homework tonight, and their homework is on pages 117 and 118. Towards the very end of the day, we finished taking notes on Unit 4, Weather, Climate, and the Water Cycle. If the students need the copy of the recording, they can email me, and I can send them the copy of the notes recording. They then read what is the water cycle inside of their textbook, and after they were done reading their textbook, which I did make sure to tell them, read the captions and read the text. All of it is important. All of it is going to be important and on the test, so that's why I want you to take your time reading it carefully. You do not need to write in every box, but you do need to read every caption and read all of the words. After they were done reading about the water cycle, they then took a quiz. Again, it's a 5-question quiz. It's not about accuracy. It is about just their completion, about what they understood from the chapter. I then take this information and I use it to inform my teaching for the next day, so I can talk about any misconceptions in our next science class. This was a classwork grade, again, for completion, that they completed the 5 questions for the quiz. Finally, the last thing that we worked on during our time for the day is at the very end of the day, we filled out our planner and we had some extra credit presentations. So now I'm going to open up my video a little bit larger to go over the planner. To be clear, there is no spelling this week. There is no vocabulary this week. We are just taking a break from spelling and vocab for 2 weeks because we are now in a novel of Esperanza Rising, and that's taking up more of our time. So here you can see for language arts, we were working on informative essay number 2. We were reading and taking notes about those 3 sources. During our reading time, they read chapters 1 through 2 of Esperanza Rising, and they completed those 4 questions for their comprehension check. There is no homework for spelling, so we've gone ahead and crossed all of that out and crossed out our spelling list as well. In math again, the 5th graders had no homework, but the 6th graders had pages 117 to 118. In science, we did notes, we read lesson 1, and we took the lesson 1 quiz. And for classwork, we did the differing views of native slides. That is the only assignment that we're doing for the whole week for social studies, so it's important that they turn that in on time. It should have taken you 1 day to complete it. So I should have all of those in today or by tomorrow. So that's what we've currently been doing inside of our digital classroom. The one other thing that we added is that we're reading the novel Esperanza Rising by Pam Munoz Ryan. And that is what we'll be reading for 2 weeks. Each day we'll be reading 2 chapters. So tomorrow they'll be reading chapters 3 and 4, on Wednesday 5 and 6, 7 and 8, and 9 and 10. We'll be done with half of the book before the week is over. All right, thank you so much for watching this recap video. I hope that you have a marvelous Monday. Have a great day.